For some leagues, the fantasy regular season is over and the playoffs will begin soon. For others, it's one more week. But either way, it's all about making the playoffs and seeding and who can grab the momentum. Welcome to the December 7th Fantasy Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast. What's up, T?
What's going on, G? Excited that we're both hitting playoff stride here. Opposite sides of the bracket, so meet you in the championship, my guy.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot to talk about when you come home for Christmas, man. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, G, man, it's in there another number 2 seed, T Money, the number 4 seed out of this 12-man league, man. Hey, we're rising to the top, man. That's good. We have a fun week coming up.
It's going to be fun, but don't let, I know I'm the 4 seed, listeners, but number 1 in most points scored. Don't let anyone fool you here. Just some unlucky weeks. Come on, G, let's go.
Hey, the fans know G-Man's a wreck, man. You don't want to get in front of my train, man. Hey, y'all, if you like what you're seeing every week, press the like and subscribe. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcast. We're everywhere at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. We're going to kick it off with the first game, hot and cold. T-Money, 61% accuracy on his cold picks this year. Just nailing the cold picks, man. The cold starters. You might want to bench or are going to break your heart. T-Money's told you not to play them.
Gotcha.
And you guys start them, and he told you not to play them. G-Money's going to tell you who's hot, someone you might want to pull from your bench, get up there and play, or play in your DFS, someone that you should get on your starting lineup. Hey, keep in mind, we're recording the shows on Tuesday, so a lot can change. I'm going to kick things off here with the picks at quarterback. I'm going to start off T-Money. I can't believe I'm picking this guy, but I could not resist. I'm going with Jared Goff at the quarterback for Detroit. He posted his best performance of the season and getting the first victory for the Lions. Man, how about the Lions giving the game ball to their coach? Goff got 20 fantasy points. He threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
All right.
And this matchup against Denver is tough this week, but he's only projected for 11.6 fantasy points, and that's just too low, man. He's a great value on DraftKings at 5,100. So if you're out there streaming, I think you could take a flyer here, see if Goff can bring you into a victory.
All right. Going to be interesting. I don't know how much I trust Jared Goff to ever be hot at anything, but let's move on to what Jared Goff is typically, and that is cold QB. All right. So my cold QB of the week is Josh Allen, projected for 23 versus Tampa Bay this week. Only 11.7 versus that vaunted Bill Belichick defense. And Tampa might have the best D-line in the entire league. So 13th best versus QBs in fantasy. He's only averaging 22.6. So he's got to beat his average versus one of the best defenses in the league. I think he has a below average game and does not get to 23 fantasy points.
Okay. Wow. It's interesting. That's interesting. Buffalo, man, they're just struggling here. Hey,
struggle versus good teams. I've been telling you that all year, G.
I'm moving on to the running back. Hey, man, the hot running back I'm going to tell you to go with is Javonte Williams, the Broncos rookie running back. Last week rushed for 100 yards, caught 6 passes against the Chiefs. Melvin Gordon missed the game, but he has a hip injury. He may miss again. It's only Tuesday. We don't know what's going on with Melvin, but even if he's there, I think Javonte Williams passes 13.5 fantasy points. He's broken 20 fantasy points 2 weeks in a row. The Lions defense ranks 29th against opposing running backs. So I think Williams gets this. He's a great value on DraftKings also, only $5,500. Fire him up, man. Javonte Williams.
All right. Melvin Gordon misses. That's definitely a good one there. My cold running back of the week, though, your boy Saquon Barkley, projected 13.9 versus the Chargers. Chargers becoming one of the best fantasy defenses in the league, just stuffing everyone at this point. Only 13.4 last week for Saquon, and he's just they have no one else to worry about when they play the Chargers this week because Daniel Jones isn't playing. So he's still coming off a little bit of an injury. And he's just mainly getting a lot of his points in the passing game. And I just think with the Chargers pass rush and their linebackers covering Saquon, I think that slows him down a little bit and he doesn't get the total passing he needs to beat 13.9.
Saquon probably had his best game of the year last week. I think he's starting to break out.
Yeah.
I hope you're not right on that, but hey, man, I know you got the right pick, so you never know. I'm going to go with my hot wide receiver, Mike Williams from the Chargers.
All right.
Only projected for 12.6 fantasy points. He's been turning it up lately. He's got 5 of 7 targets last week, 110 yards. And Sunday's win over the Bengals, he's now racked up at least 6 targets in 4 consecutive games. So the targets are starting to come back. And he's only projected for 12.6 fantasy points. I can't see it, man. They're up against the Giants. He's going to get more than 12.6. I think he's a good play. He's $5,600 for you DFS players on DraftKings. Pick him up, Mike Williams.
All right. I like Mike. He's always undervalued in most leagues. My cold wide receiver here, Mike Evans, 14.5 versus Buffalo here. They have the #1 pass defense in the league. So I know they're not a great run defense, but their pass defense is very good. So I think they're going to keep everyone a little cold. Tom Brady, Godwin, Evans, everybody. But because they have such a bad run defense, look for Leonard Fournette to have a big game and be the main focal point of this offense this week. So I expect Fournette to be the guy. Godwin will be the main receiver when they need a go-to guy. Gronk is turning into their red zone target now that he's back, which is really Mike Evans' only go-to. Is when he scores a touchdown, he scores points. So, the past 2 weeks, he's had 16 and 4. And then before that, he had 12, 14, and 20. He doesn't have many big games. And when he does, it's because he scores a touchdown. So I never trust Mike Evans to begin with, because he's so touchdown dependent, especially versus the #1 pass defense in the league.
All right, but you're not saying with your picks, when you look at Mike Evans, Saquon, and Josh Allen, you're not saying don't start those guys. You're
Mike
just saying
Evans,
just temper your expectations.
Yeah, temper your expectations. And Mike Evans, I think, could break your heart a little more than the others. But especially in a DFS league, those are guys that I don't think will beat their projection. And in DFS, That's how you win DFS, is getting everyone to beat their projection.
Okay, gotcha. Good picks for DFS. All right, got it, man. Good. Listen up to T Money on those picks. He's hot. Let's move on to our second game, the take or mistake game. Hey, we got 4 teams on bye this week, 3 in the AFC, Indy, Miami, New England, and 1 in the NFC, the Eagles. So if you have players on those teams, we're going to help you make some smart moves down the stretch here with some substitutes to get you back and win your games. So our game, take or mistake, will hopefully help you out on the waiver wire tomorrow morning, your substitution decisions. I pick a player that had a big week last week. T Money's going to tell me whether that player is going to keep it going, we should take the bait, or if last week was a mistake. T Money has no idea who I'm going to say. This is all a surprise.
All right.
And we typically do 3 players. I'm going to start off with the quarterback from the Jets, Zach Wilson. He threw for 226 yards, setting new career high marks in pass attempts and touchdowns, throwing 2 touchdowns and scoring another one himself. He was a top 5 quarterback with 21 fantasy points. Can Wilson be a fantasy streamer in this Sunday's home game against the Saints? T Money, is Zach Wilson a take, or would that be a mistake?
I mean, don't even roster this guy. It's a mistake. There's no point to have Zach Wilson on your team. He's probably the worst rookie. He's probably the worst out of all the rookies. I mean, complete mistake. He had a fluke game. Congratulations on getting a rushing touchdown and 2 passing touchdowns. Wow, what a game you had.
Oh, my God. Let's go to running back. I'm going to Devontae Freeman from the Ravens. He took 14 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown, and also got 5 catches for 45 yards against Pittsburgh, breaking 20 fantasy points now in 2 of the last 3 games. Can Freeman keep it up this Sunday on a road matchup at the Browns? T Money, is Devontae Freeman a take, or would that be a mistake?
So I'm gonna make this a take in the sense that he's a good flex option when you have guys on buys or injured. He's not going to be consistently scoring 20 points, but scoring over 10, I think that's pretty consistent for a guy like that. As if you're the starting running back in a Ravens offense and you're getting the dump offs that Lamar Jackson used to take as his own running ability, but now just dumps it off. I like Devontae Freeman as a take, but don't expect him to continue to get over 20 points a game.
And he's got 19 touches, 14 carries, 5 catches, 19 touches. So
exactly.
A lot of volume there. Hey, let's go to wide receiver. What do you think about the Rams? Van Jefferson caught 6 passes for 41 yards and a touchdown last week. He's now broken 16 fantasy points 2 straight weeks in a row, despite the arrival of Odell Beckham. Could Jefferson be taking over the old Robert Woods role as the Rams head into a big Monday nighter against Arizona? T-Money, is Van Jefferson a take, or would that be a mistake?
So if I was doing DFS, I would say this is a take. You could get him at a super cheap rate, and he might get to 16, 17, depending on if he scores a touchdown. As a starter in fantasy, I would say that's a mistake. As someone who you could roster, if he continues this, that you could do as a take. So it's kind of a push right now. I need to see more. I wouldn't start him, but in DFS, I would if I at a cheap cost.
What do you think about the dynamics of Odell Beckham coming into that receiving corps? Van Jefferson was there. They thought he was going to replace Van Jefferson. What do you think is evolving there?
Well, like you said, I think Van Jefferson is sliding into the more Robert Woods role, and Odell Beckham is taking over Van Jefferson's role as the over-the-top guy. So I think that they're all kind of moving positions. Robert Woods had a very solid, steady target account or amount of targets that he got. Yeah. So if Van Jefferson's in that role, I think that he's going to get more looks than Odell, most likely.
Hey, great job, T-Money. You are so smart with that stuff. We hope you are loving the new fantasy football show brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. You know that we love you. Press the like and subscribe for us. Look for our podcasts and mini segments on all the platforms at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. And if you're interested in sponsoring or being a guest on our fantasy show, reach out to us. T-Money, I got the 2 seed in the fantasy playoffs, baby. I'm batting you down for behind. You're trying to catch me, man, but I'm knocking you back.
Oh my God. All right. Well, we'll see. We got a few weeks left till we might meet. So I'm just excited to maybe have an all Ross final.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right. Let's do that.
All right.